Hey, my friends, penguins can really fly. And on that note, we're going to get to this video.
For life, bro.
Hey, yo, squad. What's
up?
the drill?
What's
Back
good?
with another video, man. There's the rap scene, and then there's the Detroit rap scene. And few rappers personify the culture more than FWC Big Key. He's been involved with some of the most vicious beefs that come out of that town. Beefs that make the stuff regular rappers get up to seem like regular reality TV drama.
Okay. All right, Detroit people, put in the comments with y'all before this video start. Go ahead and write down who y'all already know Big Key by. Who he a big dog? He a big dog? Let me know.
Everything from beef in the streets to beef on wax, and bruh has survived it all.
Right.
So just who is FWC Big Key? How did he get into so much beef? And how has he lived this long to even tell his story?
Okay.
We're gonna find out. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. Born Keon Fales in 1999, Big Key was known for keeping his nose clean. You wouldn't know it by looking at him right now, but he was really a good kid once upon a time.
I had both of my parents. My mama ain't work. My pops took care of my mama, us, all that. So I ain't really grew up knowing all how that shit was for real like that. Like I had everything I wanted. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. However, this meant that while the other kids his age were out slinging and scamming, the young FWC only had older boys to hang out with. In the rough neighborhoods of the West Side, that's about as good as it gets.
Right.
Rap was a big part of his childhood, with legends like Blade Icewood filling his ears with the realness and showing him that Detroit rap is in a league of its own. Is Blade his favorite rapper then? Nah, he reserves that title for himself, because that's just how much he believes in his own talent. As for where he gets his confidence from, it might have something to do with the positive role models growing up, starting with his father. From how Big Key tells it, the man was as honorable as they come, and a straight edge dude too. He made his living by running his own tire shop, and he was able to take care of his family with nothing but clean money.
I grew up on the West Side. I'm from Linwood and Montgomery. See, my pops, everybody from the West Side know my pops, bro. Like he just passed away from shit, but he had a tire shop on Quincy and Grand River. Everybody, if you from the West Side, 48204, 48205, 48206, all them zip codes, you know who my pops is. You feel me? Everybody know my pops.
He was so respectable that everybody on the West Side knew who he was, and the same goes for FWC's big brother.
Hey, bro, it's crazy when you got shit like that. Like, you got the good guy, dad doing his thing. He doing his thing. I'ma just say, but then you meet his children. You got the son. Hold on, what the fuck? You getting good money, and your son out here thugging. But alright, man.
Of course, his big bro didn't have that squeaky clean reputation that his dad had earned.
Right.
FWC's gone on the record to say how fearsome his brother could be. And that's exactly why the eventual rapper wanted to be like him.
Right.
Like my big brother's a bad nigga. Niggas know my big brother's.
Really?
Yeah, he about to get out too. He just did 7.
Did 7?
Everybody get out June 12th.
Wow.
Free D, man.
His father had some strong opinions about how he should live his life. A man of discipline. He wanted FWC to play basketball from day one, which isn't surprising considering his stature. He had some talent in that department too, so much so that he joined the varsity team at his high school when he was just a freshman.
My pops wanted me to do it just on some board shit. I really started liking it. I ain't really played no sports until like the 8th grade. So my pops wanted me to do that shit. I just did that just because it was something to do for real.
Right.
Now, despite being a well-behaved kid, Big Key found himself on the wrong side of the law as a teenager. Those other kids he used to hang out with, they turned out to be a bad influence, with one of them showing him how to scam and putting him on the path to prison. By the time he was old enough to drive, FWC was already doing a bid on a firearm charge.
Dang.
While he was serving his sentence, he started to experiment a little bit with music, and that's when he heard some news that made him feel like everything was falling apart. See, he was told that his...
Hey, Lil Yachty invested some scam money into his craft. There ain't nothing wrong with it, but it come with a risk. Hey, man, and look at Lil Yachty now. Getting so much damn houses, king of the hill, as he call it. But yeah, hey, man.
had cancer, and all of a sudden his whole world had came crashing down around him.
Because he had stage 4 cancer. I was actually locked up when I found out. I was locked up in Grand Rapids. It's a city called Grand Rapids. I was locked up down there for a pistol case, and they had called me and told me like, your pops got stage for really start crashing out of that bitch, punching the wall, really finna beat everybody ass. You feel me? So,
as difficult as the news was to hear, it also gave him a new lease on life. He was released early so that he could spend time with his father, and over the next year, he spent as much time with him as he could, but he had to say goodbye in the end.
Damn.
To make things worse, FWC's brother was in the joint as well, doing a 7-year bid for an unknown charge. He wouldn't get out until 2022. So Big Key knew that he had two options.
Damn, yo just
Either
got
he
out
could
for
keep
real.
scamming like there's no tomorrow, or he could try getting into rap full time. Needless to say, he made the right choice here. In 2018, he released his debut EP, Welcome to Linwood. A lot of people seem to think that Big Key is all about beats, but his first record was far more grounded than that. It told stories ripped straight from the streets with plenty of heart, and the guy's lyricism and flow was absolutely undeniable. Songs like Free Key Glock and FTO showed off his ability to diss people without mercy, but he balanced it out with some bona fide talent when it came to spitting on the mic. Apparently, he wrote some of the songs while he was still locked up, which just goes to show how real he liked to keep things. Even going to jail couldn't stomp his talent out. And as soon as that album came out, Big Key was on his way to stardom. But the thing is, the game had changed quite a lot from back in the day. A decade ago, getting 100,000 views on YouTube meant that you already made it big. But nowadays, you need at least a cool million before anybody takes you seriously.
Back in the day, bro, 100,000 views, you was famous. Like, famous in Detroit, like, for real famous. Like, everybody, wherever you go, everybody know who you is. Nah.
Fortunately enough for Big Key, he knew how to use his natural star power and charisma to move up the ranks. Pretty soon, he become good friends with the one and only Rio the OG.
So many goddamn features. I'm sure you don't do that for everybody.
Yeah, so Rio is my nigga. I really, like, I was one of the first listening to Rio. I was down in Flint and shit, man.
Featuring on his single Pressure, the music video ended up getting over 3 million views, and Big Key got the big break he needed. After this push, he ended up posting his first music video to the YouTube channel, and the views started pouring in. The video was for Free Key Glock, by the way, which kind of shows that his songs had legs. People didn't forget about him once they heard him. And one music video was out, and he started to rack up millions of views all on his own. While he was riding his wave,
independent,
emerged as a leader of a well-known crew called Cash Gang. With plenty of street game along with the rap talent to match, Cash Gang had been involved in a bitter feud with the rivals Bang Gang for years by this point. And when Big Key became their prominent member, about half of Detroit started beefing with them on the spot.
Damn, yo came out on some beef shit. Yo got his man, yo did that short, yo got his boys, guy. Whole time them niggas out here beef. I'm pretty sure he knew about it.
Gotta understand, this isn't the Instagram beef that the modern day rappers tend to get involved in. Actual blood had been spilled on both sides allegedly, starting with Dex Osama back in the day, and he wasn't even a part of these gangs. But with that said, word on the street is that he allegedly had close relations with Big Key, and when he got gunned down in 2015, the gang war supposedly started to get on a whole nother level. Over the next few years, Big Key got involved in some pretty serious stuff, not to mention getting more charges added to his rap sheet. For starters, he got busted for forgery and possession of criminal tools in 2019.
What's forgery?
He didn't do any time for the charges though, because the guy lawyered up and managed to get off with just 4 years probation. As if that wasn't enough, he managed to get himself arrested yet again that same year, this time for felony fraud charges. I'm not sure who he hired as an attorney, but the guy clearly knows his stuff, because he made sure that Big Key got nothing but a slap on the wrist for the second time in a row.
Damn.
While all of this was happening, Bang Gang was suffering some major casualties practically every other week. It was almost like there was a hit out on their people, and the way Big Key reacted to each loss on Instagram made it seem like he was behind it all. Now, many would say that he's completely innocent, but you have to admit, bragging about bodies on Instagram Live isn't the smartest move. It's the sort of thing
smooth. It ain't smooth. Niggas do it all the time though, but hey, just saying. Fulio died. Nigga parading and everybody saying this and that. I don't know how much beef that nigga was in though. I don't know how much beef. Cause it seemed like yo was wanted dead, like. But niggas applauding his death.
Give the cops some serious ammunition if they wanted to come after you.
Right.
And if the feds get involved, you can kiss your freedom goodbye.
Oh,
one of Bang Gang's
some
central members, Jizzle P, ended up getting gunned down during this beef. No one knows about who shot him or why, but the fact that all of it happened in front of his mother really proves that things were as serious as it gets.
Hell yeah.
The shooting was so vicious that his moms couldn't even tell who the perpetrators were because the fury of gunfire sent out tons of sparks that blocked their faces from view. Now that's wild. On top of that, another Bang Gang member named Javar got shot at the same time. This really makes it look like it was a hit out against the gang, and most people think the Cash Gang was behind it all, and by extension, Big Key. Now, Bang Gang isn't the only group that Big Key allegedly had beef with. He's also had his fair share of troubles with the Glock boys.
Damn.
To be fair, it's easier to understand his reasons this time around, because this wasn't the type of old school beef he shared with Bang Gang. Instead, it was more of a traditional rapper's beef, but it allegedly got dangerously close to turning morbid on multiple occasions, and at least one body came of it. You see, the Glock boys took things a bit too far with one of their diss tracks where they disrespected Big Key's grandma. I should probably mention the poor lady passed away of cancer just like his dad. So it didn't really take a rocket scientist to understand why this upset him. Cash Gang wrote their own diss in response though.
Y'all diss my pops, y'all diss my grandma. This shit is on the flow for life, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say something in there. I ain't gonna be probably no diss song, but something gonna be in there.
Hell yeah.
There's one thing you could say about Big Key is that he doesn't shy away from a fight. If you step to him on the street, you best believe he'll come at you with everything.
He had that in him. He had that dog in him. As far as I'm seeing right now.
He's got, and that's made him one of the most notorious ops in all of Detroit. During his beef with the Glock boys, a young rapper by the name of Alex Ward, who went by the name Wu, met his demise in his home in Farmington.
Damn.
What's sad is that he moved out there from inner Detroit to give his girlfriend and child a better life, and Big Key called him out by name in the diss track that I talked about earlier. All of that bragging on Insta Live was bound to stir up some trouble too.
Right.
Sure enough, the feds busted down Big Key's door in March of 2021.
Hey.
He was chilling with his girl at the time, but he was also allegedly sitting on a literal arsenal. The feds found weapons and ammunition, but more importantly, they found Big Key's ice. He was smart enough to not show his face on the Insta Live videos where he talks about dropping bodies, but his ice was on full display. The authorities used this to make a connection between him and the slangs, and he had to give interviews wearing an ankle monitor as a result. But last we heard, he did some time in the joint in 2023, but that hasn't stopped him from putting out track after track. And if you listen to his recent stuff, you know he's still stepping on ish. According to a recent inmate search, Mr. Key won't see the light of day until December 5th, 2025, which isn't far away, but isn't right around the corner either. A lot can happen in that time, but bruh's just in his mid-20s, so his career should remain while he holding it down behind bars.
Whoa.
While he in there, I know one thing, he better stay smart, stay alert, and stay real.
Hey, that's all you can do. That's all you can do. Golly. I'm gonna check out Big Key. Big Key ain't playing though. Big Key ain't playing. Yo done really lost some shit. Not saying that these other niggas didn't, but yo done lost some shit. Niggas talking about his folks. Yo on ass. Yo putting belt to that ass. But it's crazy, yo must know a good ass lawyer to be doing all this dirt and getting caught up with all this stuff. But it wasn't no highly evidence, so you got that good lawyer, so he pressing down on it. That's what's up. Yo only got like a year left. He only got like a couple months left. Yo be home next year, so let's see.